Hi everyone.
What's it doing on my cheekies?
Hello everybody, my name is Paris.
I'm Selina.
And for those that are new to our channel, welcome. This is Love Uncut. So I'm going to allow Selina to introduce and frame this week's topic.
So this is actually a request that we had to discuss. So one of many requests hopefully coming through. Someone asked us to discuss the concept of pretty privilege. Now, this isn't something that I'd ever really thought of. Or thought was like a big deal, but just doing a bit of research on it, it's quite interesting to understand what it means and how people feel about it and sort of the schools of thought.
So what is pretty privilege, for those that don't know?
Well, let's take the two words, right? So pretty. Pretty means when you look at someone, no, they're aesthetically pleasing, right? They look nice, they look attractive, they're beautiful. That's the definition of pretty. And privilege is when someone has an advantage over another.
So in terms of pretty, does that apply to just females being attractive, or does it mean men? Can men be pretty? I just want to know.
I think so, why not?
So you think men and women also have this pretty privilege? Or not, as the case may be?
Well, why not? If someone is pretty or beautiful or handsome, whatever adjective you want to use, basically what the term is insinuating is that you are going to get some sort of unspoken advantage over someone who is not seen to have those stereotypically pretty or beautiful characteristics. That's what it means. You're going to be treated better if you are stereotypically pretty or beautiful or handsome versus someone who doesn't meet that criteria.
Okay, yeah, no, very interesting. I mean, I guess we can't, we can't brush over the gender differences. I think in society in general, it champions a woman's looks as opposed to her status or, her intelligence.
Well, her character, right? That's really, I guess for me, I'm sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, and then with men, I think it's more their status and all the other kind of rugged characteristics that are championed ahead of how handsome they are, it seems, So yeah, that's the way society views it. But I guess my understanding is that, whether you're a pretty man or a pretty woman, there are definitely going to be some sort of benefit of the doubt moments you get.
Yeah, 100%. Off the top of my head, I can think of some examples. If you look at the music industry, generally every female performer, definitely more so than males, is pretty or beautiful or has long hair or has some sort of nice body to look at, whether it's enhanced or natural. Like, they all follow a certain formula in terms of being nice to look at. People can ogle them, people can aspire to reach their level of beauty that ticks all these kind of
imaginary boxes.
Yeah, exactly. And even if they can't sing, they're superstars and they're singers, and it's just like, it's clearly because you're beautiful. If you go to a club, you see girls being let into the VIP section when they're pretty. That's purely the basis of them being let into the VIP section, right?
Right, okay, yes, that's right, yeah. Under sort of the mirage that maybe the guys in the VIP section can sleep with them, and it's kind of this invisible tug of war.
I don't even know if it goes that far. I just think it's like, if you see pretty girls in the VIP section, maybe you're more likely to spend money to buy a table to be in the VIP section.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So essentially you're saying that, pretty women are used as status symbols oftentimes, or ornaments to kind of adorn the VIP area.
Definitely.
And it makes your party look better.
Well, and you see old rich men with pretty young things on their arms. That's a privilege for the pretty young thing, because, I mean, look, maybe not all relationships are going to be gold digger ones, and it might not even necessarily be a gold digger one. It might just be the old man likes the look of this one, wants to enjoy the rest of his life.
I just feel like we're going to offend like 10 different groups of people in this episode. So, you know what, it is what it is. You was going to say what we think, guys, not to offend anybody, but I get the sense this is one of those topics.
The problem is that there are studies that show that if someone is seen to be pretty, beautiful, handsome versus someone that's seen to be not meeting those kind of societal aspirations or stereotypes of beauty, they get better customer service, they're more likely to progress in their career. It's just this kind of inherent view that if someone is pretty or beautiful, they are more charming, they are smarter, they are more they're cleaner, they have better hygiene, you know, like all these kind of sub factors that lead to someone treating someone better than if they're not pretty. And it kind of sucks that we judge people based on what they look like versus how they act. Like, think of it, even as a child, it's like, oh, what a handsome little boy, or what a pretty little girl. And you're kind of, from that age, whether it's directly or subtly, taught to measure your worth by how you look and measure other people's worth by how they look. It might not be what you're taught at home, but it's what you see in a magazine or it's what you see in a music video. You know, like the girls chosen to be video girls, although I hate that term, they're all pretty, they all have amazing bodies, immaculate skin, and so you're like, oh, you know, that's how you get to reach that level of success, if that's what you wanted to be, a model or whatever, or if, you know, at work.
So I wanted to also ask you, I guess, in fact, this is a point that I wanted to make. I mean, in terms of pretty privilege, so most of the time when we talk about somebody having a privilege, it's usually something that they're completely unaware of themselves. I feel, and I don't know how much you agree, having done your research, that people that have pretty privilege most of the time know that they have it. They have that leverage in certain situations. I feel like pretty privilege is unique as a privilege because you are conscious of it 9 times out of 10, and then, you know, you're then utilizing it to benefit yourself, whether it is your career or, you know, your friendships or a relationship. So what do you think about that? Do you feel like pretty privilege is a privilege that pretty people are aware they have?
I think if you grow up and you notice that you're constantly getting like a better sort of, if you're getting better treatment, or if you're always getting attention from whatever sex, or if you are always kind of, what's the word, the subject, the focus of a group, if that, do you see what I mean? Like if you stand out and people kind of highlight you as being pretty, right, and you see through life that people treat you better, and you see through life that you get more attention than others, then you're going to be aware of that. Let's call a spade a spade. I think the thing is, if you then try and use that to your advantage, that's where I question, is that right or is that wrong? Are you just using what you have to get ahead in life, or to get a little free coffee here and there? I don't know. Or are you manipulating it? Is it a bit darker? Are you kind of feeding the narrative of it's the outside that counts? And I guess that's my answer to your question. I'm sure people are aware of it, but it's what they do with that awareness. And maybe if you are getting pretty privileged, then maybe, and you see someone isn't, then why not stand up for that person? Or I don't know. It's like, depending on how people are born, you didn't choose to look how you look, so maybe it's not your fault to an extent. But also, I think like being attractive is so different to everyone. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Like some people find different things attractive or pretty, and so the other issue I have with this is it's like you're adhering to a stereotype of what pretty is and what beautiful is. which I don't think exists. I think everyone is unique and like...
Well, yeah, but you say that to the Instagram girls, right? So Francesca...
Well, they're a huge example of pretty privilege. The prettier you are, the more followers you have, the more products you advertise, it's, yeah, perfect example.
Yeah, so, I mean, Francesca from Too Hot to Handle, she's a big example of an Instagram look that's just in. This Kim K look, basically, this Kim K derivative kind of look. And yeah, as you've said, you can study as hard as you want. You can even cure coronavirus. But in terms of money or prestige or social privilege, it's probably going to be awarded to a 19-year-old who looks like, what's her name, Demi, all these Instagram people who are just seen as the standard of pretty. There are also branches in this. So yes, we've got the stereotypical societal version of beauty, which is basically, black women's features on non-black people, essentially.
Or almost black looking people.
Yeah, that's kind of a societal number one narrative. Everybody wants to look olive, but all these different things. But then you have people like Ethiopian, Sudanese women, and they know they're beautiful as well. It might not be on TV, and you might not get all these 100,000 derivatives like Kim Kardashian, but you can tell when somebody knows they're attractive. But somebody knowing they're attractive doesn't necessarily mean they're arrogant.
But this is the thing.
The confidence there.
This is like the flip side of the argument. So again, just reading up on this topic, there are two schools of thought. There's a thought that yes, it exists, and it's a poor reflection on society that we judge everyone by how they look as opposed to their character, how they act, i.e. they come through and they're happy and bubbly, and you should treat someone with the same energy and be respectful to everyone, of course, but if someone is nice and happy, you're going to treat them better than if they're like, whether they're pretty or not, right? That's how it should be, maybe, I don't know. But the flip side of the argument is that being pretty actually doesn't just come with privilege, it comes with risk.
Alright people, we're going to try a new format. We're going to break this one up. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on so you can catch part 2 and part 3. Peace.